Buonasera, if you are a lover of chickpeas, this is your lucky day. I'll be cooking a chickpeas pasta, and it's a Sicilian one again, and this includes anchovies, but I will also give you a vegetarian option, and it is really delicious, and it will be flavorized with some rosemary, of course, and obviously, and garlic and tomatoes. So shall we make a start?
Yep.
Great. I will be using tinned chickpeas today, mostly because convenience and time, but you can also use the dry ones. This is a black and white tin of chickpeas, which I didn't even know they existed, and white ones, but you can use any chickpeas that you like. Just cover them with some vegetable stock or water with a stock cube. If you do not have any vegetable stock, that'll be as well. And I will also be adding 1 sprig of rosemary, fresh from my garden. Chop a couple of 100 grams of cherry tomatoes in half and add them in. Earlier I chopped a large carrot, or you can use 2 medium carrots if you wish. Chop them all very similar size. They are approximately 1 centimeter sort of in size square, and add them to the rest. I've placed them on a hot hob and I will be taking to the boil. If you notice, the amount of water is not a lot, just enough to skim the top of all of my vegetables. And also add a little salt. Once they reach the boil, place the lid on top and let them simmer for 20 minutes. Chickpeas are cooked already, so all we need to do now is to ensure that the vegetables cook. You can of course choose to use dried chickpeas, which you might have soaked overnight. If you do that, let them soak for at the very least 18 hours, wash them thoroughly, and this process will need to take 2 hours instead of 20 minutes because the chickpeas will need to cook well, and then we are at the same level effectively, okay? So while the chickpeas cook away, I will move on to my next part of the recipe. Add a little olive oil in a pan, couple of large cloves of garlic, crush them with your knife and put them in. I've also got here the equivalent of 4 anchovies, which I'm going to put in as well. This is the equivalent of 2 tablespoons of tomato puree. I'm going to add 2 or 3 tablespoons of vegetable stock or water. Indeed, if you do not have any vegetable stock, that's fine. And I'm going to be dissolving it with the liquid. And everything cold, I will be adding it in as well. And I've got a second sprig of rosemary, which I'm going to now chop into small pieces. Sprinkle it in with the rest of the other ingredients. Everything still cold. After 20 minutes the chickpeas are ready, and we will be picking up a couple of ladles, maybe 2 or 3. Also pick a little juice, and we will go ahead and blend them. You're looking for a nice thick cream, not too smooth, just as it is, a nice and rustic looking. Next I'll place my vegetables and my anchovies and garlic and everything on a medium to high heat and start mixing everything together. If you are vegetarian, by the way, you do not have to use anchovies. You could replace anchovies with a small handful of capers. They will also just add as much flavor, and they've got a nice bitterness to it. After a minute or so, once everything is blended together, go ahead and add your blended chickpeas. After 30 seconds or so, add a little vegetable stock or some water with your own stock if you wish, or just water, that should be fine as well. Once it reaches the boil, we're going to be putting the lid on, and I'll let it simmer for 3 to 4 minutes. Don't forget there is your garlic here, and I will leave mine. Actually, what I tend to do with a fork, I try to squash it, but you by all means remove it if you want. I think by leaving it in I will add additional flavor personally. And now it's time to add the remaining chickpeas and vegetables. Turn the temperature up on fairly high until they start boiling, which is the case now. And I will be adding 350 grams of macaroni pasta in our case, as is 3 of us eating. Stir it well and turn the heat down onto a medium to high setting. You do not want it to be too high, but also you want the pasta to cook.
So what number have we put ours on?
So number 6.
Number 6.
6 out of 9. Beside me I've got a jug with some vegetable water, and I will be topping it up if necessary, because as the pasta will cook it will be absorbing the liquid and it might require topping up. So just stay nearby and then you'll be able to judge it. Cooking pasta like this, it's really good, because instead of absorbing the water, which would be the case if you were to just boil it, it actually is absorbing the juices of the chickpeas in this case, and it will give them a delicious taste. As it's beginning to get stuck at the bottom a little, I'm going to add 1 ladle of my stock. I want to retain a nice creamy, not too liquidy but also not too thick consistency. Just like this is perfect. This is a creamy dish, not a very liquidy dish. Okay, so the macaroni are nearly ready. They are al dente, and I've used 5 ladles of stock. This is a bit like cooking a risotto, so make sure that you are continuously stirring while it's cooking so that it doesn't actually get stuck to the bottom. And to finish cooking it, now I will be turning the heat off completely. I'll place the lid on and I'll let it simmer now on its own heat for the next 3 minutes, and that will finish cooking wonderfully without any heat, and also will be cooling down, which will be perfect, ready for eating. And there it is, ready. Lovely and creamy, not too thick, not too liquidy. That is exactly the consistency you're looking for.
Smells delicious.
And I'll be doing myself a little portion. I will be pouring a little olive oil on top as well. You can also add some Parmesan cheese if you want. I will not tonight because I like as it is. I know, for example, my son will definitely be adding chili flakes. He does in everything. And I'll pop a little rosemary to garnish it.
Nice.
And there it is, looking very beautiful. Definitely a lovely meal, really warming on a winter's night, especially like today, which is so cold outside, freezing. Yes, it's an explosion of flavors: chickpeas and rosemary and garlic, and the anchovies, of course. They do add a kick and a flavor which is very distinctive. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy the video, and I hope you enjoy the meal if you cook it. Ciao, ciao. See you later. Bye.